Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Lisa, and I have Crohn's disease. I have had Crohn's disease for many years now. I developed Crohn's disease when I was 19. Since then, the disease, and that's been over 10 years. So since then, the disease has been aggressive, has been relentless, never giving up, never giving me a break until recently, where I was finally diagnosed with remission. So yay! So I have been through quite a bit with my Crohn's disease, but what I want to talk about today is Crohn's disease and your mental health. We all know that Crohn's disease can affect you by giving you anxiety, by giving you depression, but nobody talks about the link about Crohn's disease and bipolar, schizophrenia, psychosis, major depression, just to name a few. And there is a link between those because I'm living proof of it. And I want to talk to you about the trigger, the diagnosis for that, my newest diagnosis of, and this is hard to say because there's a very big stigma behind it, but I have bipolar and it is linked to my Crohn's disease. So if we go back and we look at what triggered all of this in me and how it's linked to my Crohn's disease, I'll tell you. About 2 years ago, and you have to think about my Crohn's has always been aggressive and not letting up. Always like not enough to put me in the hospital and do something about it, but enough to keep me from impacting my quality of life. So it started when I developed an infection in the blood. I developed septicemia, and we all know that affects every major organ in your body. It affects everything, including the brain. Now, recovery from septicemia is anywhere from 6 months to a year to past. They say anything past your 2-year mark is probably permanent damage. And the first year post septicemia is critical for a rebound infection. So yes, I almost died from that. And since then, I've developed major depression with psychosis. So a year post that, it took to diagnose me with major depression with psychosis. So I had my septicemia. They treated me with 4 million units of Pen-G, of penicillin, a day for 2 weeks, and then we lowered the dose for an additional 6 weeks. So I was treated for anywhere about 6 to 8 weeks with Pen-G, with the first 2 weeks being 4 million units. But it saved my life. Yes, it probably wiped all my good bacteria out of my body, but it saved my life. So now I'm treated for this. And what caused this was an infection in the mouth. I had an abscess. So we all know that Crohn's disease is an inflammatory bowel disease, but it could also affect the whole body. So inflammation in the body created an infection. I ended up with septicemia. They treated me for that, and then came the worst flare-up of my life. I was covered in ulcers from head to toe. They bled. Like every morning I washed myself, and it was a cloth full of blood. I ended up malnourished. I ended up anemic. And yes, I almost died from that too. It was horrible. It affected my mental health. It was traumatic. And then I ended up with psychosis. I was psychotic. So what does that mean? Psychosis is when you are delusional, you are hearing things, you're seeing things, or you are smelling things that are not there. And I've been through it, and it's a very, very, very scary experience. And for you, the person going through it, it's all very, very, very real. So I ended up in a mental health unit where they promised me they would take care of my Crohn's, because I knew my Crohn's was behind all of this. So I got treated for my mental health, and I got treated for Crohn's disease at the same time. They did a colonoscopy, found out I was in the worst flare-up ever, and then they linked it, and they were like, yeah, of course your mental health would be affected. So now I'm usually about 130 pounds. I was down to, I believe, 95 pounds, my lowest, when I entered hospital. Now post, with all the medication and the mental health medication I'm on, I am almost 170 pounds. So I might not be happy about that, but I am probably healthier than I've been in the last 2 years. And then I'm in remission. So that's great. So now we got to deal with the diagnosis of, I had the diagnosis of major depression with psychosis. Fast forward another year, I have a manic attack. So just recently I had an attack where the doctor had to treat me for mania. So now I've hit major depression with psychosis, and I have hit mania. That gives me my diagnosis of bipolar. So yes, Crohn's disease can affect you in that way. And now I need to grieve my old self that's never coming back, and I need to move forward in this journey with bipolar that I am just starting. And if you stay tuned and watch my following videos, I will talk to you while I go through this journey. And I want to thank everybody for watching my video, and happy Thanksgiving. Have a great weekend. Bye.